Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Buckle up because today we're going to get real, okay? I'm going to go over 5 things that should make you go, what? And yeah, because all of these came to me this morning. And God's like, you need to tell them this. So here you go. So the first thing is food. We've been geared to think that you eat from the pyramid, grains and all that kind of stuff. We're supposed to have a lot of grains. Well, where are the grains now? Mostly in your processed foods, right? Which contain preservatives, gluten, sugar, all of those things. And every time, how many mothers do you see? And I did the same thing because I didn't know any better, but how many mothers do you see feeding their children Cheerios, Pop-Tarts, drinking sodas, Goldfish? It's a fast, easy food for kids. What is it? It's sugar and preservatives and carbs. The United States has the highest obese population in the world. We're killing our kids. Our kids are, and not all kids, but there are a lot of children that are overweight. I remember, and I'm not judging you at all. I took someone's child to the doctor one time, and the child was definitely overweight. They couldn't go, so I took their child to the doctor, and I came back, and the doctor said that their child was obese. And I said, you want me to tell this woman that her child is obese? And he said, Pam, the facts are the facts. Hand her this sheet. So I handed her the sheet and told her her child was obese. They changed doctors. And I'm like, you know what? Anyway, so we're feeding our children because you feed them these carbs and then you sit them in front of a TV or a video game. Kids don't, when I grew up, we went outside and played. You were burning energy all day long. Not anymore. Kids aren't, they might do a sport or two, but most of them don't. Oh, that just told me number 6. Anyway, so you've got food. You need to re-gear your brain on what you're eating and what you're consuming. A friend of mine has breast cancer. She's had both breasts removed. Her cancer has come back, I think, like 3 or 4 times. She's been told she's on lifelong chemo, and she's a nurse. I asked her, I said, did your oncologist tell you that sugar, because I've seen how she eats. I said, did your oncologist tell you that sugar feeds cancer cells? She said no, and she completely disregarded it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. No wonder your cancer keeps coming back. You're feeding the cancer cells. But we're not told that, because what does that do? That leads me to the next, which is the drugs, prescription drugs. Number 2. What does obesity cause? But health issues, health concerns, heart conditions. All of that feeds the drug industry and the medical field. And if you have high blood pressure, let's not look, and high diabetes, let's not look at the problem. Let's give you a drug to put a Band-Aid on it. Let's not fix the problem. Why do you have gallstones? Why do you have urinary tract infections? Why do you have seasonal allergies? Why do you have whatever you have? Fix the problem. Don't take a drug. Feed your body what your body was designed to eat. And I'll have another program on that. You know, I mean, and maybe I'll talk to a friend of mine who researches this and link one of his videos. Because your body was designed to heal itself. God gave you an immune system. But we've killed it, basically, with all the processed foods and the drugs and all that kind of stuff. Because that's not where the money is. The cure for cancer has been found a couple of times. The people that found it don't exist anymore. Anything that works will be squelched and you'll be told it doesn't work. You can't take that. There are chemicals in the products in the United States that other countries will ban because they're harmful to you. The United States, they go ahead and ship it on out. Take it. Take a ton of it. Both of these are things that should make you go, what? But they feed each other. One hand scratches the other one. One pocket feeds the other one. And guess what? It's your pocket feeding theirs. They don't care whether you're healthy. They don't care whether your child is healthy. They want you sick. Because when you're sick, you're dependent on their system. Which brings me to number 3. When you're dependent on their system, what does that mean? You have to go get a job. Years and years ago, I was told job stands for just over broke. How many of you have a job and you're free to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and you have the lifestyle you want? How many? Please tell me. And this is not judgment because I was there. But when you have a job, you're working for someone else who dictates to you when you can come to work, and you better come to work, and I'm only going to pay you X amount of dollars, which is not what you're worth. And I'll tell you when you can take a break and when you can have vacation. Meanwhile, the cost of everything else, the drugs, the food, everything's going up, but your pay's not going up. So what does that do? It's making you sick, and you can't afford health insurance, so you got to work so you can pay your bills. And most of us aren't making enough to keep paying bills and have a savings, so you got to keep going back to work, which is nothing but legalized slavery. Literally. You know, all they did was take slavery and put another word on it. It's called a job. And you're going to be happy working your job. Because if you're not happy with their conditions, go find another one. You know? And that brings me to number, let's see, what's that, 4? 4. Education. What are we teaching our children? Children now are not being taught what I was taught and what people before me were taught. They're being taught to a system. Kids don't know life. Most of them come out of school. I cannot tell you how many, and this is not judgment, how many people cannot even read and write. How many text messages, how many emails I get with misspelled words. And granted, if it wasn't for spell check, I'm not a speller, but at least I understand. I understand tense, and you don't end a sentence with a preposition. Like, the one that drives me absolutely crazy. Where are you at? It's just like, where are you? You don't end it with at. But that's what we've been taught. People say that all the time. And that's just a small, tiny little example. I get stuff all the time and I'm just like, what are they even saying? Because words are in the wrong place. They're in the wrong tense. They're in the wrong, and it's not about fat fingering it, but it's leave no child behind. You know, we push them through school, which brings me to the other one that I forgot about, where education, this will be number 5, and I'll add a number 6. Number 5 is education. I mean, not education, entertainment. Entertainers make more money than people that are out there saving your life or raising your children, teaching your children. Where is that okay? Where does watching a football game, which is one of the biggest corrupt sports there is, when I worked animal control and the NFL hired Michael Vick back after I saw what he did, and I was part of the team that seized equipment that he had that tortured animals, tortured dogs and other animals. And the NFL said, oh, well, you've served your time. It's okay. You can come back. I'm like, what? And kids look up to this as the way that you're supposed to be. He becomes a hero. I'm sorry, that's not the kind of hero I want my child looking up to. But he makes millions of dollars while you're sitting at home, you can't even pay your bills. And you've probably gone to college. Which takes me back to education. When I graduated high school, I graduated with honors. I was an honor roll student. Honor society and honor roll. I was an honor society student. I graduated in top of my class. I wasn't the top, but I hated school. I'm like, get me out of here. I did not go to college. From that point on, all I heard was go to college, go to college, go to college. What did that do? My daughter went to college. She got a degree. She's one of the few people I know that is working in the field that she went to college for, and she barely makes enough to make a living, much less pay back her school loans. What did that do? It geared everybody to think they needed a college degree, and because employers weren't going to hire you if you didn't have a college degree. But they're not going to pay you enough to live and pay back your student loan. So again, you're in debt to the system. I didn't go to college. I would rather hire somebody that has common sense and life skills than somebody and can think through a situation than somebody that has 10 degrees that doesn't know that doesn't know up or down and can't think outside of the box. And it's either black or white, there is no gray, because they can't figure out how to make it work if it's not within the realm of what they know, what they've been taught. So anyway, and that leads me to number 6, which is religion, organized religion. It's not about, I don't care what you call it, whether you're Catholic, Protestant, Mormon, Baptist, Christian, Jewish, Hindu. I don't care what religion, I don't care who you look up to. If you study Wicca, okay, I don't care. We've been geared to think that organized religion is where it's supposed to be. And people will defend that all day long. I used to fight. get in your face in a flat second and tell you Christianity was the way to go. To a point, it is. But when you start judging people because they don't believe what you believe, and you start dividing people and saying, oh, well, you're gay, you can't come to my church. Or you're black, you can't come to my white church. Sorry, I apologize for that. What did I do? Black, you can't come to white. You're white, you can't come to my black church. Or you, whatever. Where is that okay? I heard a story one time where you're homeless. Don't bother walking into this church because we're going to look down on you. You know, and you're not dressed to the nines. How dare you come to church in jeans or shorts, or homeless? That's all you have. How dare you come in my church and look like that? We're going to ask you to leave. I'm sorry. God says, come as you are. God never made a mistake. Where is it for you and me and anybody else to look down on that person because of the way they come to church? Maybe the outfit that they came to church in is the best thing they've got. They're supposed to be loved unconditionally, and they're supposed to be accepted with warm, open arms. Personally, I would tell them, be thankful that church kicked you out, because now you see what organized religion is. See the bigger picture. See that we've been brainwashed into division and control, and you have to pray through somebody to get to God. All that's doing is releasing your power, your God-given power. You are God. God is everywhere. God is everything. You don't need to go through Jesus to get to God. You don't need to go through a priest. You don't need to confess your sins to anybody, much less go to church and confess your sins to some guy behind a curtain. Why? That's not going to do anything but spread your business wherever. You know, if you want to confess your sins, do that to yourself. Go to your quiet spot and say, God, I'm sorry. God is not a judging God. There is no wrath of God. There is no judgment. God is nothing but love. God is there to show you the way. You just have to be open to it. So each of these 6 things I can dive so much deeper into. If any one of them strikes a chord with you, if any one of them makes you go, makes you think, maybe you should dive into the rest of them. And there's more. There's, we got the government. They're not out to help you. There are people that are relying on the government because the government will save them. No, the government is here to destroy you. Look at our country, and it's getting worse because people just let it happen, because they don't stand up and go, what? To any of those 6 things that I just said. They just roll with it. I don't roll with it anymore. I have worked myself out of every single one of what I just told you. And I've helped, and my husband, when I met him, healthy-wise, he was in bad shape. Now, he's healthier than he's ever been, and he feels better than he's ever felt. And he's not on any medicine. And I'm not a doctor. We went to his cardiologist because he had a stent put in, two, I think, I don't know, the year before I met him, because he had a heart attack. his lifestyle and what he was eating, no wonder. But it's how most of the population is. We went to his cardiologist, and I asked his cardiologist, I said, does he really, I'm sorry, having animals is so much fun. I asked his cardiologist, I said, does he really need to be on all these medicines? And he said, no. But it's been proven it helps you live longer. And I left that office and I told my husband, I said, no, you're going to go when God says it's time for you to go. When your last day is up, it's your last day. I don't care how many drugs you're on. And the more that you're on those drugs, the faster your day is going to get here. Because look at the side effects of every one of them. So I'm sorry, I would rather have you healthy and drug-free than on a bunch of drugs that are proven by the medical system with a long list of side effects, long list. No, I don't play into that system anymore. So like I said, if any of this resonates with you, click the like button. If any of them make you question, wait a minute. There was a thing on Facebook yesterday. There was a bunch of sheep going over an edge, and one of the sheep in the back was like, wait a minute, something's not right. And the rest of them are like, yes, it is. Just keep going, and it's for for your own good. That one sheep that's like, wait a minute, something's not right, is me, and it has been for years. How many of you are with me? How many of you are still saying, oh no, don't worry about it, just keep going. It's for your own good. Again, this isn't a judgment thing. This is what it is. And when you wake up and see this, it's hard to watch people that refuse to see it. It really is, but it's their journey, you know? So if you're with me and you are questioning these things and you're trying to get the message out there to other people, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Lead by example. That's all I can tell you. Lead by example. Continue to love yourself. Continue to step into your God-given power. And step out of the system that we were brought up in. And one day, they will all get it. Everyone will get it. Because where we go one, we go all. We are all, it's unity consciousness. You know, we will all get there eventually. It might not be in this lifetime, but that's not for you to decide. You can only decide your lifetime, not anybody else's. So anyway, I love you guys. I pray, God, I pray that you're on board with me. And at least one of these things makes you question. And like I said, I just scratched the surface. Every one of them I can dive a lot deeper into and give you a whole lot more, but I'm not going to do that today. So anyway, I'm sending you love and light. Again, there is no judgment. I'm here to help. I'm here to be the lighthouse, to guide the way. You can choose to be a light with me or not. That's up to you. I love you regardless. So anyway, much love. Have an amazing day. And like I said, click the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to link my free ebook down below, which doesn't cover most of these. It covers another amazing thing on limiting beliefs. But anyway, it's free and people are enjoying it. So I will talk to you later.